In the frigid expanse of Point Lay, Alaska, villagers noticed an unusual sight: a tiny polar bear cub wandering near the outskirts of their settlement. Its movements were slow and unsteady, a clear indication of hunger and exhaustion. The cub's isolation was alarming since polar bear cubs rarely survive without their mothers, who are crucial for their survival during the early years. Villagers speculated that the mother had likely perished, leaving the cub to fend for itself in the unforgiving Arctic. As days passed, the cub drew closer to human dwellings, likely searching for food. Its fragile frame and desperate demeanor tugged at the hearts of the locals. Recognizing the urgency, they contacted the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, USFWS. It was evident that without immediate intervention, the cub's life would be at great risk. This marked the beginning of a collaborative effort to save the orphaned polar bear, a journey that would soon capture global attention. The discovery of an orphaned polar bear cub posed significant challenges. Polar bears rely heavily on their mothers to hunt seals and teach survival techniques. Left alone, the cub would face starvation, harsh weather, and predation. The villagers, despite their remote location, understood these risks and were determined to help. Time was of the essence, as the cub's health visibly deteriorated with each passing day. The USFWS team faced the delicate task of rescuing the cub without causing additional stress or harm. Using specialized equipment, they prepared to sedate and capture the bear safely. Every step had to be meticulously planned to ensure the cub's fragile state was not exacerbated. The operation was not just about saving one bear, it was also a fight against the broader effects of climate change that are increasingly displacing wildlife. The rescue team arrived equipped with tranquilizers, transport cages, and a deep understanding of polar bear behavior. Gaining the trust of an orphaned cub was no easy feat. Callie, though weak, showed natural wariness toward humans, a trait crucial for survival in the wild. After hours of careful observation, the team successfully sedated the cub and transported him to their facility in Anchorage. Transporting a polar bear cub over long distances in freezing conditions required precision. The cub was placed in a climate-controlled crate to mimic his natural environment. Throughout the journey, the team monitored his vitals to ensure he remained stable. Upon arrival, they were greeted by a team of veterinarians and zookeepers ready to provide immediate care. Callie had completed the first step in his journey to a safer life. At the Alaska Zoo, Callie underwent a thorough medical examination. The veterinarians discovered that he was severely underweight for his age, a clear sign of prolonged malnourishment. His fur, though thick and white, could not hide the bony frame beneath. Dehydration added to his list of ailments, making his recovery an uphill battle. The medical team crafted a detailed rehabilitation plan, focusing on restoring the cub's health without overwhelming his fragile body. Small, nutrient-dense meals were introduced gradually, allowing Callie to regain strength. Beyond physical care, they worked to reduce the cub's stress, creating an environment that felt safe and nurturing. The team's dedication marked the start of a remarkable recovery process for Callie. Callie's days at the Alaska Zoo were filled with care and attention. Zookeepers replicated Arctic conditions, providing snow-filled enclosures and enrichment activities to simulate hunting and foraging. The cub showed resilience, gradually adapting to his new environment and regaining his playful spirit. Visitors to the zoo were fascinated by Callie, often watching as he curiously explored his surroundings. The zookeepers shared his story with the public, emphasizing the broader challenges faced by polar bears in the wild. Callie's presence became a symbol of hope, demonstrating how human intervention can make a difference in conserving endangered species. Callie's rehabilitation process at the Alaska Zoo was carefully tailored to mimic the conditions of his natural habitat while ensuring he had the support he needed to thrive. His enclosure was filled with snow and ice, and zookeepers introduced enrichment activities that encouraged natural behaviors, such as digging and exploring. These exercises helped Callie regain strength and maintain his wild instincts. As days turned into weeks, Callie began to show signs of playfulness and curiosity. He explored his surroundings with a cautious but determined spirit, delighting his caretakers. Visitors to the zoo were captivated by the cub, whose story of resilience resonated with people of all ages. For many, Callie became a symbol of the fragility and strength of Arctic wildlife, and his presence at the zoo sparked conversations about the challenges polar bears face in the wild. As Callie's health improved, wildlife experts began to deliberate on his long-term future. While releasing him back into the wild was considered, it was ultimately deemed unfeasible. Without the survival skills typically learned from his mother, Callie would struggle to find food and navigate the Arctic landscape. The decision was bittersweet. While he would never return to the wild, captivity offered him a safe and stable life. The decision also carried broader implications for polar bear conservation. By keeping Callie in human care, researchers and zookeepers could use his story to educate the public about the threats facing his species. Callie's journey was no longer just about one bear's survival. It became a platform for raising awareness and inspiring action to protect polar bears and their rapidly changing environment. In May 2013, Callie was transported to the Buffalo Zoo in New York, where he became part of the newly constructed Arctic Edge exhibit. This state-of-the-art facility was designed to replicate the natural environment of polar bears, complete with a large swimming pool, rocky terrain, and shaded resting areas. It provided Callie with ample space to grow and thrive. The relocation was a carefully coordinated effort. Zookeepers ensured that Callie's journey was stress-free by maintaining his routine and monitoring his health throughout the process. Upon arrival, Callie quickly adapted to his new home, exploring the exhibit with curiosity and confidence. The Buffalo Zoo staff and visitors warmly welcomed him, and his playful antics became a highlight for all who visited. Callie's story transcended his survival and became a powerful tool for education and advocacy. The Buffalo Zoo leveraged his presence to educate visitors about the challenges facing polar bears due to climate change. Interactive exhibits explain the importance of sea ice, the bear's primary hunting ground, and how its loss affects their ability to find food. Through these programs, Callie became an ambassador for his species. Visitors left the zoo with a deeper understanding of the Arctic ecosystem and the urgent need for conservation efforts. For many, seeing Callie up close was a transformative experience that inspired them to take action in their own lives to help combat climate change. The Buffalo Zoo used Callie's story to connect with schools, community groups, and wildlife organizations. Special events and presentations highlighted the cub's rescue and the broader issues faced by polar bears in the wild. Children, in particular, were drawn to Callie's journey, finding inspiration in his resilience and courage. The zoo's outreach efforts extended beyond its walls, with online content and social media campaigns spreading awareness about polar bear conservation. Callie's story reminded people that every small action, from reducing energy consumption to supporting conservation groups, can make a difference. His presence was a beacon of hope and a call to action for protecting the natural world. Callie's journey from an orphaned cub in Alaska to a thriving adult at the Buffalo Zoo is a testament to the power of collaboration. His rescue and rehabilitation brought together local villagers, wildlife experts, and conservationists from around the world. Together, they demonstrated that even the most vulnerable creatures can have a second chance at life. Today, Callie's story continues to inspire. His legacy underscores the importance of protecting polar bears and their habitats in the face of climate change. By saving one life, Callie's rescuers sparked a global conversation about conservation and the interconnectedness of all living things.